My biggest regret as an investor is that I did not read the annual letters of Warren Buffett before, and I didn't listen to the annual meetings of Berkshire Hathaway. But this is not precise enough. If I had to go back in the past and tell me something, okay, you do this one thing and it will make you a much better investor, it would be to focus on the leadership of the businesses you're looking at. This would have saved me so much time because I have analyzed hundreds of companies and I believe that it was a waste of time. Many of these companies, I should not have even looked at them just because of bad management. So why this is so important? You have to understand that when you're investing, you're delegating the task of managing your money to these leaders of these companies. Of course, you want the best people to be able to manage your money. This is basically what investing is about. There are many people who want to be active as investors. I don't mean active by picking stocks. I mean active to know exactly what the company is doing, to read up all the quarterly reports, to read all the analyst reports about a specific investment. In most cases, it is a waste of time. Because if you select the right leaders to lead the company to manage your money, why do you need to go into so much details? What's important then is for you to make the right choice from the beginning so that you know for sure that this person, these people managing your money, they are going most probably to do the right job. And if you look at the investments I have in my portfolio, this is exactly where we are going. The average CEO of the S&P 500 lost 4.5 years. And in my portfolio, most of the CEOs have been around for much longer than that. And many of these companies are founder-led. For example, Wise, the CEO has been around for over 15 years. That's how old the company is. Same for Meta. Same for Root. All these companies are founder-led. And you have the advantage that when you're investing in a founder-led company, you know that they have skin in the game. Not all of the time. Snapchat is a perfect example of a CEO that doesn't align with the owners of the company, even though he's an owner of the company. But in most cases, when someone has founded a company, this is their legacy. This is what they are going to be remembered about, and they would want to do a great job. And they know the problem that the company wants to solve firsthand because they are probably the one that faced the issue in the first time. For example, Wise, they had this issue. The founder, Christopher Coleman, he had the issue that he could not transfer money internationally at the right price. And that's why he founded the company. The founder of Root, Alex Tim, he is from insurance. His parents were in insurance. So he knows the industry very well. He knew what he had to change in the business. Then we have Meta. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't take a salary from Meta, only $1. So you see, when you are investing in these companies, you have to know who are the leaders. Even if they did not found the company, Booking Holdings CEO Glenn Fogel has been in the company for over 25 years. And since 2017, he has been the CEO. So this is a long-term commitment in the company. He has a lot of skin in the game. He owns many shares. Most of his net worth is probably in the stocks of the company. And he calls himself an owner of the company. T-Local might be the exception because the new CEO, he's new, joined only 2 years ago, Pedro Art. But he was in Mercado Libre. He built Mercado Pago. He has been in CFO of the company for 12 years, 25 years in Mercado Libre. So when he wanted to change, when he wanted to go into entrepreneurship again, he made the choice of choosing dLocal. He could have gone to any other company in the world. Maybe they would have wanted him. But he wanted to go to dLocal. And even if he is not a founder, the founders are still involved in the company. They still own a lot of shares of the company. Insiders own over 40% of the business. I recently read a book, Good to Great. And in this book, the author talks about how some companies outperform the competition, what made them better. And he says in the beginning that he wasn't expecting leadership to be important, but it is important. And he came up with the idea of level 5 leaders. I'm not going to spoil the book for you. And I wrote an article about it. If you're interested, you can read it. It's important. It's part of this video. I'm making the video as a sequel to that article. But the fact remains that if you're investing, you need to be able to choose the right leaders. And coming back to Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, why do I say that the letters were so important? Why do I say that listening to the annual meetings were so important? For me, I should have done that earlier. It's because this is what they talk about. When you hear about Warren Buffett investing in companies without doing the due diligence, just a handshake with the owner, with the CEO, and he knows he can trust this person. Same for Charlie Munger. It's because they're investing in the people rather than a business. A business is going to be here, they have the factories and everything else, but you need the people to run the business. That doesn't mean that you don't need to go into details, but it's an important thing. You just look at the leadership first, and then you know already, okay, this is bad. They are wasting time. I have made this mistake in the past. I invested in iRobot, the business went bankrupt. But you look at the management of iRobot, how much money they were making, and how much money the company was losing. It makes sense why they went bankrupt. So I wasted money and I wasted time analyzing this business. Of course, this is not something that is going to be popular. How are business analysts, equity analysts on Wall Street, how are they going to give a number to a stock? This stock has to be worth $103.25 next year because of good leadership or bad leadership. You cannot really give a number to that. It's something qualitative. That's why investing is more an art than a science. If you want to learn more why I invested in Root, I will recommend you watch this video next. Have a nice day and goodbye.